Shabbat Shalom, beautiful Pnei Or, extended family far and wide. Parshat Toldot. Ve'ela Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. Avraham holid et Yitzchak. And these are the descendants of Yitzchak, the son of Avraham. Avraham, the father of Yitzchak. Ela Toldot, a phrase that typically signifies a pivot, the end of an era, and the opening of a new stage in the evolution of consciousness and in our family drama. Closure for Avraham, and center stage for his son Yitzchak, who marries Rivka. Yitzchak, like Sarah, knows how to open the gates between the worlds. He opens a channel to God in behalf of Rivka because she is not conceiving. And Rivka becomes pregnant. And yet, as the pregnancy unfolds, the turmoil within her becomes unbearable. She can feel the children struggle within her. She cries out, "If it's going to be like this, why am I even alive?" She too seeks divine assistance. An answer comes. 2 nations are in your womb. 2 kingdoms will separate from within you. They will struggle. But in the end, the elder will serve the younger. Enigmatic and foreboding. When the term of the pregnancy is complete, fraternal twins are born. The first to emerge is reddish and hairy. They name him Esav, the hairy one. Afterwards, his brother comes up with his hand grasping Esav's heel. He is called Yaakov, the heel grabber. Esav and Yaakov. This past Monday night, the new moon of the month of Kessler rose in the night sky. Nights are lengthening. The season is turning. It is always at this time of year that we read the Torah tales about Esav and Yaakov, their rivalry and its consequences. What a mess. Favoritism, suspicion, deceit, trickery. Decades of bitterness ensue. A trajectory is set in motion that ripples its consequences into the narrative of our family and our people, along with redemptive moments of transcendent beauty, reconciliation, and healing. The narrative spins through generations. All too soon, we will be immersed in the rivalry between Yosef and his brothers and end up in slavery in Mitzrayim, reminding us again how redemption can emerge even from betrayal and exile. And in the midst of all these stories, along comes Hanukkah, reminding us that even in dark times, or perhaps particularly then, if we are present and open, miracles will unfold, and cleansing light will flood into the world. We have learned from the holy Rabbi, Reb Nachman, that when we learn Torah stories, we must discover ourselves in these stories. As long as we think the stories are about other people, we're missing the point and don't yet understand the depth of the story. Every part of every story is about a part of me. Rivka challenges us to confront the inner struggle, inner turmoil. What is happening? Is there a plan here? Can I pour out my confusion and pain and be answered? What if the answer that comes is not comforting, but challenges me further? Esav and Yaakov, like each of us, have traits they must use, short-term or long-term, in the service of the good. Esav gets a rather negative treatment in much of the classical commentary. He is, after all, very physical, a cunning hunter, a warrior, extroverted, impulsive, primal, identified more with our instinctual nature. Yaakov is called Tam, a word we met last week, in the mystical capacities of Sarah, who purified and made Tam, made whole and wholesome, all the worlds. Tam, gentle, introverted. And as we learn from his mystical visions, he inherits a capacity for connection with the higher worlds. Perhaps you identify more with one than the other, but both polarities are within us in varied ways and degrees. How might that show up for you in your own story or in your own neshama? And the deceit, the duplicity that unfolds, it has consequences. But also, like any challenge course, even the most bitter circumstances have redemptive seeds planted within. Just ask Yosef, who a generation later will remind his guilty brothers that their plot against him brought unanticipated benefits. Can you see any parallels in your life? Yaakov, too, with all his flaws, moves our story forward. As unfinished as he is, he still sees angelic visions. Soon he will stand beside the angelic ladder spanning heaven and earth. He sees it. Can you? Tricked by Laban, and then locked into spiritual boot camp in Laban's service, he weds Leah and Rachel, and grows to become Yisrael, the God wrestler who can with humility, return the stolen bracha and see in Esav the face of God. What does it take to see the face of God in our rivals? So much will unfold. Today's Torah reading sets the stage. Today, born of the deception, of Rivka's deception, born of Rivka's insight that Yaakov, not Esav, must inherit the spiritual mantle of family leadership, that deception plays out. She sees, but believes that her only resource is manipulation. How blind is Yitzhak, really? One wonders. He who we know is blessed with an angelic capacity for inner sight, is he fooled? Or does he see through the ruse and yet permit it? What we know is that when confronted by Esav, Yitzhak trembles ad ma'od, an odd phrase that evokes the core essential nature of the original Adam, the original human, who is called Tov Ma'od. And the mandate we hear in Torah to bring our full Ma'od, our full essence, in ahava, in loyal love, for the sourcing power we call God. Ve'ahavta b'chol ma'odecha. Gripped by the poignancy of Esav's pain, Yitzhak's gift of vision permits him to see the long trajectory of consequences that his role in this dangerous drama will engender. His very ma'od trembles with that insight. Fleeing Esav's wrath, Yaakov leaves home for a short cooling off that lasts decades. He will never see his parents again. Consequences ripple. And even so, redemptive possibilities emerge. If every part of this story is me, what part is this? How might I deceive myself? Is there part of me that is blind and plays along? How do my inner Yaakov and Esav vie for approval? Can these capacities be elevated or reconciled to serve the best that I can envision? What part of me navigates inner turmoil? What do I do when I can't find better solutions and resort to manipulation? Okay, I know we never do that. What redemptive moments and life-altering wisdom have emerged even from my mistakes? so much to consider. For those who may be crowd watching, we'll have some time to converse and reflect. For all of us, if any of these questions lodge in your heart in any way, and you wish to commit to further exploring, when we call our customary unified Aliyah, stand in any way you might wish and reach towards Torah. We enter the gate of Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah u'dvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah li'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah u'dvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah u'dvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai iti, Uniramema
Shemo Ya'alav.
Again, beautiful friends, as we call our unified Aliyah to Torah this morning, if any of the questions that arise from this narrative lodge in your heart in any way, and you wish to commit to exploring that further, as we call our unified Aliyah, stand in any way you wish and reach towards Torah.
ויעזור ויגן ויושיע לכל החוסים בו ונאמר אמן. הכל הבו גודל אלוהינו ותנו כבוד לתורה. נא לעמוד יקמיו. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. ואתם דבקים באדוני אלוהיכם חיים כולכם היום.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה יא אלוהינו חי העולמים אשר בחרבנו לאהבה וברצון, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
ואלה תולדות יצחק בן אברהם. אברהם הוליד את יצחק. ויהי יצחק בן 40 שנה, בקחתו את רבקה, בת בתואל הארמי מפדן ארם, אחות לבן הרמי לו לאישה. ויתר יצחק לאדוני לנוכח אשתו כי עקרה היא, ויתר לו אדוני ותהר רבקה אשתו. Now these are the generations of Yitzchak, son of Abraham. Abraham indeed was Yitzchak's father. Yitzchak is 40 years old when he takes Rivka, the daughter of Betuel the Arami and Padan Aram, the sister of Lavan the Arami, to him as wife. Yitzchak calls to Yah, pleading to help get his wife to conceive because she is barren. And indeed, Yah hears, and Rivka becomes pregnant. ויתרוצצו הבנים בקרבה, ותאמר, אם כן, למה זה אנוכי ותלך לדרוש את אדוני? And the two boys struggle inside her, and she says, if this is what's happening, what use is my life? And she goes to ask of Yah. ויאמר אדוני לה, שני גויים בבטנך, ושני לאומים ממאייך יפרדו, ולאום מלאום ימת, ורב יבוד צעיר. Yah says to her, two entire peoples are growing inside your womb, and one will dominate the other, and yet the younger will dominate the elder. וימלאו ימיה ימדת והנה תומים בבטנה, and the internal wrestling went on and on up to the moment of birth. ויצא הראשון אדמוני כולו כאדרת שיער, ויקראו שמו עשיו. The first one comes out, the eldest. He's all ruddy and hairy, so they called him Hairy. ואחר כן יצא אחיו ויודעו חסד בעקב, עשיו ויקראו שמו יעקב. His brother comes out. Here he's holding on to the heel of Esav. He is called heel grabber. ויצחק בן 60 שנה בלדת אותם. Yitzchak is 60 years old when they are born. ויגדלו הנערים, ויהי עשיו איש יודע ציד איש שדה, ויעקב איש תם יושב אוהלים. The boys grow up. Esav becomes a man of the open country, a hunter who knows how to bring in the game. Yaakov is a simpler person, preferring to stay near the home tent and tend the flocks. ויאהב יצחק את עצה עשיו כי ציד בפיו, ורבקה אוהבת את יעקב. The boys know how to cook. Yitzchak loves Esav, who brings him nice cooked game he has hunted. Rivka loves Yaakov. Vayazed Yaakov nazide, vayavo Esav min hasadeh hu oyev. Yaakov cooks up a lentil stew. Esav comes in from the field. He's had an off day and he is hungry. ויאמר עשיו אל יעקב, הליטני נא מן האדום הזה, כי עייף אנוכי. על כן קרא שמו אדום. Esav says to Yaakov, oh man, please give me some of that yummy red stew, because I am really hungry. For this he was called Edom, the red one. Vayomer Yaakov, Michra kayom et bechoratcha li. Yaakov answers, okay, that case, sell me right now your birthright. Vayomer Esav, hine anochi holech lamut velama ze li bechora. Esav says, I'm going to die of hunger. What used to be is a birthright. Vayomer Yaakov, hishava li kayom. Vayishava lo. Vayimkor et bechorato Yaakov. Yaakov says, okay, swear it. Now, Esav does. He swears it, therefore selling his birthright to Yaakov. V'Yaakov natan le'Esav lechem unezid adashim vayochal vayesht vayakam vayelach vayivez Esav et beho abchora. So Yaakov sets before him a whole table with bread and wine and the stew. Yaakov sits and eats and drinks, gets up and leaves, ignoring and throwing away his birthright. And now, after the great deception, Esav is furious and swears, I will one of these days, after my father dies, that's what I will kill Yaakov, my brother. Vayugad l'Rivka et divrei Esav bena hagadol. Vatishlach vatikra liYaakov bena hakaton. Vatomer elav hine Esav achicha mitnachem lecha lehargecha. Rivka hears Esav's words. She calls to Yaakov, her son, the younger, and says to him, listen, Esav is really angry and he's talking about killing you. Ve'ata b'ni shama b'koli v'kum berach lecha el Lavan achi charana. וישבת עמו ימים אחדים עד אשר תשוב חמת אחיך עד שוב אף אחיך ממך ושכח את אשר עשית לו ושלחתי ולקחתיך משם למה אשכול גם שניהם יום אחד. So now, my son, listen to my voice. Pack up, take off, go live with my brother Lavan in Haran. You'll stay with him maybe a few days until your brother's anger just evaporates and he'll forget what he's talking about doing to you, because you know he blows hot and cold, and I'll send for you and bring you back from here. Why should I lose the two of you in one day? Vayomer, Vatomer Rivka el Yitzchak. Now Rivka comes and says to Yitzchak, Katzti b'chayai, mipnei benot chet, אם לוקח יעקב אישה מבנות חטא כאלה במלאת הארץ, למה לי חיים? Rivka says to Yitzchak, my life will be over. What is the point of living anymore if Yaakov takes one of the daughters of Chet, these people who live in this land, to be a wife? So Yitzchak says, sure. Vayikra Yitzchak el Yaakov, vayvarech oto vayitzavehu, vayomer lo, lo tikach isha bibnot Kenaan. Yitzchak calls Yaakov in and blesses him, saying, here, I give you a directive. Do not take a wife from the Canaanite women. Kum, lech padena Aram, beta betuel, avi imecha v'kach lecha misham. Isha mi bnot Lavan achi imecha. Go, get up and go to Padan Aram, to the house of Betuel, the father of your mother, and take from there a wife from the daughters of Lavan, the brother of your mother. Ve'el Shaddai yevarech otcha v'yafrecha v'yarbecha v'hayita lekha la'amim v'yitel lecha et birkat Avraham lecha ulzaracha itach l'rishlecha et eretz begorecha asher natan le'Avraham Elohim le'Avraham. Yitzchak goes into a trance and transmits the bracha that El Shaddai will bless you and make you great and fruitful. You will become a community of peoples. Will give you the bracha of Avraham to you and to your seed with you to inherit the land of where we are sojourning, that was promised by Elohim to Avraham. Vayishlach Yitzchak et Yaakov vayelech Padan Aram el Lavan ben Betuel ha'arami achi Rivka en Yaakov ve'esav. So Yitzchak sends Yaakov forward. He goes toward Padan Aram to live with Lavan, son of Betuel, the Aramean, brother of Rivka, mother of Yaakov and Esav. Vayar Esav ki berach Yitzchak et Yaakov, v'shalach oto Padan Aram lakachat lo misham isha bevarcho. Oto vayitzav alav lemor lo tikach isha mibnot Canaan. Now Esav sees that Yitzchak has blessed Yaakov again, sent him out to Padan Aram to get a wife from their extended family, saying, don't take a wife from among the daughters of Canaan. Vayishma Yaakov el aviv ve'el imo vayelech Padan Aram. Now, Yaakov has gotten this double message from his father and his mother, and he takes off for Padan Aram. Now, Esav sees that the two wives he took from the daughters of Canaan are not acceptable to his parents. So he goes and takes a third wife. He goes to Yishmael, and he takes Machalat, daughter of Yishmael ben Avraham, Abraham's granddaughter, to be a wife, to appease his parents. Vayelech Esav el Yishmael vayikach et Machalat ben Yishmael ben Avraham achot nevayot al nashav lo leisha.
Baruch atah Eloheinu ruach haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu rucha atya shechina noten haTorah. May the Holy One of Blessing, who has blessed all of our ancestors, bless us with the gifts of vision. Bless us to see how even the long trajectory of consequences in our lives can evolve to serve the highest good. If you wish a particular blessing right now, given the questions that this Parsha raises for us, you can bring your hand to your heart, holding in your heart the bracha that you seek at this time. May redemptive moments and life-altering wisdom emerge from everything that unfolds for us. And may all of our actions evolve to serve the highest good. Amen v'amen. We stay present to offer prayers for healing. Once again, bringing to our hearts an image of someone to whom we would wish that the healing blessings of our extended community be transmitted from Torah to our hearts to someone or ones whom you love. If you are crowd watching, this is a good time to hit pause in just a moment so that you can call out the names of those to whom you would wish that the healing blessings of our extended community be offered. Prayers for healing. So we call out the ancient words that Moshe Rabbeinu called out when Miriam, his sister, was stricken, and he prayed, Anna, Elna, Refanala, please God, please heal. And she was healed, reaching towards Torah. Anna, Elna, Refanala, Anna, Elna, Refanala, Anna, Elna, Refanala, Anna, Elna, Refanala. Holy One, a blessing, we ask for complete healing. Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, a healing of spirit, a neshama healing, and a physical healing for ourselves, for each one of us, and for all of those whom we hold in our hearts. We stay present as the scroll is lifted.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה ישראל באורייתא וקודשא בריחו חייהו ישראל באורייתא וקודשא בריחו חייהו תורה אורה תורה אורה הללויה תורה אורה תורה אורה הללויה הללויה תורה אורה תורה אורה הללויה תורה אורה תורה אורה הללויה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותוכחה מאושר דרכיה Yashirenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yomenu Chadesh Yomenu
May a time of renewal come. To hold in our hearts the end of an era and the opening of a new stage of evolution of consciousness and in the drama of our family. We pray that the trajectory, that the arc of this story, of our people's story, will unfold in shalom, wholeness, completion, fulfillment, perfection, and peace. We hold in our hearts a vision of the possible future, a world of shalom, aleinu, for all of us and for all of the peoples and creatures of this world. Od yavo shalom.
Aleinu.
Aleinu.
Od yavo shalom.
Aleinu.
Od yavo shalom.
Aleinu.
Od yavo shalom. Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom. Aleinu. Od yavo shalom. Aleinu. Od yavo shalom. Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam.
Salam.
Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom.
Shalom.
Salam.
Salam. Salam.
Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom.
Salam. Holding in our hearts a vision of a perfected world. We offer at this time a Kaddish Yatom, a mourner's Kaddish. That the souls of all of those for whom a mourner's Kaddish is offered this morning might rise yet higher into the light. If you are crowd watching, wherever you are, you might again wish to hit pause in just a moment so that you can rise to call out the names of those for whom you offer a mourner's Kaddish this morning. We bring the memory of all of those for whom a Kaddish Yatom is offered this morning into our hearts. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba V'olma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. B'agala u'b'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach le'alam u'lolmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudeshav brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran b'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim. Leinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes shalom in the highest of the heights help us each to walk a path of shalom and become the shalom that we seek. May there be wholeness, completion, fulfillment, and peace for all of us and for all of the people and creatures of this world. Bimhera v'yameinu. Speedily and in our day. Today would be good.
Yay.
As has become our custom, we close our Torah service. Ein Keloheinu. Who knows what melody will emerge from the guitar this morning?
Ein Keloheinu, ein Kadoneinu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kemoshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Kadoneinu, mi Kemalkeinu, mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, beautiful friends. Good Shabbos.